The industrial process that is used to convert a fuel to gasoline is carried out at a temperature range of 670 degrees Fahrenheit to 790 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to use F as the variable, and then we're going to write an absolute value inequality that corresponds to this range. So here is our problem. So the first thing we need to do is write out what this corresponds to. So what's saying here is that in order for it to be carried out, that means we're going to have 670 degrees Fahrenheit, which is going to be less than or equal to F, which is going to be less than or equal to 790 degrees. So we'll just erase this F here just so that we don't confuse the variable there. But there is our inequality. Okay? So now what we want to do is the following. Okay? Note that F, okay, is going to be in the range between 670 to 790. So an absolute value inequality will give the undirected distance from the midpoint to 670 and to 790. So to find the midpoint of the interval, we have to determine the midpoint of the interval by finding the average value of 790 and 270. So to find the average, we need to add those two values together and then divide that by 2. So we're going to take 790 plus 670, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So on our calculator, we're just going to go ahead and take 790 and then add 670, and we get 1460. And then we're going to divide that by 2. And that gives us 730. So that's 730 degrees. That's the average. So now the next step is the temperature F will be some undirected distance from 730. So to find this distance, we need to subtract 730 from all three parts of the inequality. So if we take a look at step 1, that means that we're going to take 670 and we're going to subtract 730, which is less than or equal to F minus 730, which is less than or equal to 790 minus 730. So let's find out what 670 minus 730 is. So 670 minus 730 is going to give us negative 60. So we get negative 60, which is less than or equal to F minus 730, which is then less than or equal to 790 minus 730, which is positive 60. Okay, so now we're kind of going in reverse, and if you remember that when we talked about the definition of absolute value, okay, if we have negative k, which is less than or equal to an expression x, which is less than or equal to positive k, then this means the following. We would have the absolute value of the expression, which is less than or equal to the value of positive k. So in this case here, we're now going to write this as the statement. So we have the absolute value of the expression, which is F minus 730, and that is less than or equal to the positive value of 60, and there is our expression. So let's go ahead and put that in for the result. So we have the absolute value of capital F minus 730, which is less than or equal to 60. Let's check our answer, and there is our result.